Documents are critical to the success of a business. No matter where you work in a business, you're working with documents. Work orders, contracts, parts with barcodes on them, even the presentation you're watching. All of these are business-relevant documents. But documents don't have any intrinsic meaning. If someone hands you an invoice, what are you supposed to do with it? Are you supposed to pay it? Enter data into an ERP? Send it to a different department? Or maybe check line items against deliveries? The fact is that any document in a business is associated with a process, or more likely several processes. We just aren't always conscious of this because of our training, our company guidelines, or maybe that the process is very simple. So, from this perspective, you already have experience with workflows. Whether or not you know you do, workflows are fundamental to daily life. Let's think about a simple artificial workflow, making a sandwich. You start out with the desire to have a sandwich. Then you get out bread, cheese, pickles, a tomato, and mayo. If you're a vegetarian, you get out a nice portobello mushroom. If you prefer meat, you can get out some cold cuts. Then you assemble the sandwich in the correct order. For example, you probably don't want mayo between the pickle and the cheese. And if you put an entire tomato between the bread, you'll have a hard time chomping down. So there is a definite number of steps to perform with several choices along the way. That's a workflow. The next time you go into a sandwich shop, you might want to see where they put the bread, the main ingredients, and the toppings. The business put the ingredients into place to allow for an efficient order of operations. Most of us have memorized the workflow to create a sandwich, so it might not feel like such an organized process. Let's take things back to more common office processes. Processes are just as crucial to business success as documents. Another way to think of a process is just to call it work. So work includes writing up a memo or traveling to another location to perform a task. Work could be data entry or communicating with another party. Work is often harder to accomplish if it is boring, repetitive, includes unnecessary or redundant steps, but also if it requires looking up other information, equipment, or people. And work is especially difficult if employees don't know or agree on what steps are actually involved in a process. But that means we can save a lot of money and incidentally make employees really happy through a couple of simple steps. First of all, we can make data entry easier through lookups, automation, and so on. We can also take ad hoc processes and standardize them. In this way, we clarify common process steps and ensure they're followed. And we can also make processes in the past traceable through what's called an audit trail. Even though all of this might sound complicated to put into practice, it's really not hard at all to implement. ELO has several tools that make it easy to manage company processes by using what we call workflows. These workflows can be used in seconds with no setup at all, but can grow in sophistication as you gain experience. Ad hoc workflows, like you can see on the slide, can be used by anyone to distribute information or to accomplish simple approval scenarios. As you gain experience, you will move on to workflows that standardize the process. These workflows can also accommodate automation to save even more time and money. At all times, you will keep an overview through built-in management tools. You'll automatically see when a new task is assigned to you, for example. Users can even be notified outside of the program, like by email, if they don't use ELO every day. And escalation mechanisms prevent a task from going overdue, saving you late fees and customer relationships. Stick around to see how this works in practice.